up? You're tuning in to Black Queens Uncut. Grab your wine, your vape, or whatever you need to relax so we can get into this queen chat. I'm Monique Loveless, and Kiki, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Kiki Boom Boom.
And this week we are missing the great TK, unfortunately, but we will have her next time. She out doing the business, getting the work done, putting in that grind for her business. So we totally understand that, queen. So happy Women's
History Month. Shout out to the ladies.
And in this week it should be Women's International Day, one of the days, right?
Yes.
Like the 8th or the 3rd or something.
Yeah. So this is a women's driven episode.
Yes.
We love the ladies.
Do we really? No, I'm just playing.
No. Hey, that's a legit question.
You know, that's a funny thing because I will say this. Growing up with a lot of women, especially a lot of women who I think, and this is nothing against the women in my family, I love them to death. But when we're taught a certain thing and taught in a certain way, and we pick up those traits, a lot of women in my family personally were very negative. So growing up with women, I never really liked women.
I understand that.
So it was hard for me. Yeah, it was really hard for me to make friends with women.
Yeah.
And so I went to when I had moved to Atlanta, I was friends with this girl, and she blatantly just told me, she was like, "Girl, why are you always hating on women, on other females?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Because it always felt like it was competition.
Right.
And I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "You're always saying some shit about other girls like that you don't necessarily need to say. Like if you see somebody pretty, like she's just pretty, like you ain't gotta hate on her."
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I never thought about that. Like at all. I never thought about that.
It's wild. I feel you on that because, you know, I'm team women. I love women. But I went to an all-women's college, and my first year was not the greatest fucking year. And I came out that school being like, I fucking hate girls. But it did teach me how to navigate around different types of women and different personalities. So I'm forever at school because a lot of things that like my friends went through and what they were going through and what they're going through now, it's easy for me to navigate women and their personalities. Because I went to school for 4 years with nothing but girls. But I feel you because after I graduated, I was like, I fucking hate girls. And I had to get out of that. I was like, fuck these bitches. But then I was like, nah, because I've always been team woman. I grew up in a like woman predominant like family. So I had to learn how to kind of get back out of that. And because, you know, women, sometimes we get catty and it does become a competition. And sometimes, you know, especially in our field, it is a thing when women against other women. So I had to relearn to be like, nah, we love each other. I just have to learn how to work with different women. So I totally feel where you're coming from.
And it's funny because I never felt that way until I heard what she said. And I'm like, okay, like I want to be aware of it. But what really got me there was when I was in, of course, when I was doing therapy and I realized my traumas, but also realizing how women had come to my support inside when I needed it, and just seeing what we bring to the table and the beauty that we brought, and how just I think I became I started admiring women.
Yeah.
In so many ways, like how resilient we were. I became appreciative of what we bring to this world.
Yeah.
And it helped to get me there because, you know, like, I mean, most people know that, and I don't talk about it a lot, but most people in my life know that me, even though I'm the only child, me and my mom don't have the best relationship.
Right.
And so I think that makes it hard as well to kind of be like, if this is your first kind of example of women, it's like, well,
it does. It's you're right. It's tough. So when you go into the world and you meet more women, you're like, what the fuck?
Right. You're like, this bitch is like her at home and I don't want to deal with you.
Exactly.
I got one of these at home. Like
But yeah,
I
like
don't
you
even
said,
be telling you.
it becomes like an admiration where like even when I went through the shit I went through, I just as I got older, I just started admiring women and just seeing how dope we are and learning more the history of different women and the shit that women put up with. That's why I'm like, I'm so team woman, team women. Like if it ain't about a woman, I ain't defending it because I'm just like women, we go through a lot, we deal with a lot of bullshit.
We
So I just started
do.
to admire women more and love up on us and make sure that we're good. Like
Right. Do you
I'll
have
be
a woman
online.
that you like admire?
There's a few
Like
women
that
that
you
I
look at and you're like, I love everything about her. Like I admire her and like I, would let her mentor me or be a mentor,
mm,
whatever.
let me. I know for me, it changed a little bit because of course, growing up and wanting to be in media, it was always Oprah, and I think that was like that for a lot of little black girls growing up. We were like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to be like Oprah when I grow up. As I got older, because I love pop culture entertainment, it became like I was obsessed with Janet Jackson. Obsessed. So when her
Mm,
documentary came out, like I was so obsessed with Janet when I was little because I loved her story about the whole control thing and how she was able to get away from like her father and her family. And I loved seeing how shy she was, but like getting a nastier side of her on like her music, like Velvet Rope. But when I
yeah.
was younger, this is how fucking sick I am. Janet Jackson, was on Oprah and she like admitted she had like her nipples pierced. And I was like, I want that because Janet Jackson has it. My mom was like, enough. But because I was so like,
Did you get your nipples pierced?
I sure did, thanks to Janet Jackson. So
Yes.
like she was but her personality. So when I got to see her documentary come out and got to see like the sweet side of Janet and it pretty much proved what I already thought, like who she was. And
Right,
she's just
right.
someone who I've always admired. But of course, like the Oprahs and like I know Mariah Carey's a little Mariah Carey, but I was obsessed with Mariah. I wanted to be a lamb because
Was you?
I was a weird child. I was obsessed with Mariah. I just loved her personality. Like I loved how like people were like afraid of her, but she was also kooky in a weird way. And I was like, I like her.
She was different to me.
I like the people that no one liked. Like I would be I would be like, I like that girl.
You like the people, yeah, you like to be
I
opposite
like the
of
underdogs. Like in the 2000s, when people were hard on like the Sierras and the Ashantis, I became like the biggest
yeah,
fan. So like but for me, it's like Janet, the Oprahs, I'm trying to think who else. Of course, now it's like someone like Michelle Obama, but we just got introduced to her like 8 years ago. So
right, right.
she's definitely, I feel like I would cry if I ever meet Mrs. Obama because she's just
I love
everything.
Michelle Obama like
Oh,
to the fullest. I
she's
can't
so
speak
dope.
highly enough of her. There are some things that I'm like, I can't Michelle Obama it.
Same.
Like when she say they go when they go low, we go high. I'm like, nah.
Like, no, me, no, we don't.
Like I am so grateful that you're the type of idol that does that, but
I can't do it, Michelle. I'm sorry. I go to hell. Like, I'm not, but I love
but
that she's
I
able to put that message out because she's such a great role model. But I'm like, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
not at all. Like not at all. I'm sorry, but and I'm a fan. I am a fan.
I love that
So
woman.
I when I was young, okay. When I was young, my only and favorite idol. I mean, I tried to wear my hair like hers. I dressed like her. Like everything was her. Was Aaliyah.
Oh yeah, she was so fucking dope.
Aaliyah was my idol. Like seriously.
She
Like
still is.
yeah, I mean, I just feel like her essence, and even when people, and it never disappointed me because when I got older and people had said that they had met her before, they always
Mhm.
still said the same thing, like that she was just a beautiful soul. Like she was even more beautiful in person than she is even on mic.
Yeah.
Like she was like my first concert. She was the first concert I had ever been to. Um, I mean, just everything. She
Did you ever
was.
dress like her? Because I would definitely try to dress like her. So did you ever
Yes.
like
Girl,
emulate her
I
style?
even because my hair was really long. My hair was really long. I cut on it now because it'll grow
Yeah.
long, but it was really long. So I used to cut a bang in the
Remember the
front.
bangs that we all used to do the Aaliyah bangs?
Yeah.
You couldn't tell us we were not Aaliyah. I would get like the baggy Tommy Hilfiger jacket. I would come to school like, "What's up?"
I would have on like the baggy jeans with the belly tops and
Oh,
like, cause you know my mom wasn't gonna let me wear no bra or nothing to school.
poor. But Aaliyah's
So,
style, oh my god, her style is just so dope.
girl, like that's the only person I can think of that when I was grown, like when I was younger, who was like my idol. Like she was my only focus. I was like, I can't even focus on
Yeah.
nobody else.
I feel that. She's so like
Like,
I went back home and I was going through old stuff. I found my Aaliyah calendar from high school. And I'm like, I was laughing at the shit that I wrote in my high school calendar. It was so dumb. But I was like, yo, look at Aaliyah. Like she was one of those people that influenced us, other celebrities.
yes,
You know what I'm
she was
saying?
like, she was amazing. I mean, even I feel like even or if she was still here, which I feel like her
Yeah.
presence is still here, of course. But if she was still physically here, I feel like she would still have the same effect, though.
Dope.
She was just
Like,
so dope.
oh,
And
yeah, that's a good one.
yeah, she was the only thing I could focus on. I could. Oh, I ain't gonna lie. When I was young, my mom, she was very like reserved and conservative, so there was certain things I couldn't do
Right.
that other people should be able to do. But we wasn't having nothing in our house. Like we wasn't having any like HBO Cinemax. No.
Mm.
I couldn't even wear, even when I got of age, I couldn't even wear thongs. That's how
Oh
bad it was.
wow.
Yeah.
Remember
Like
thongs were like the thing. Everybody in my school had thongs in like eighth
when the
grade.
thong song came out, I was like, why? Like
But it's when the little girls, it's when we were showing the thongs.
I don't
That
know
was
what.
wild.
I feel like she should have just let me do it because I figured out I can't wear thongs because they hurt
Yeah, I
my
was
butt.
gonna say I used to try to wear them, and my grandmother used to be like, "No," and then I was like, "They're uncomfortable anyway."
They
I
are
don't like
so
them.
uncomfortable. They are the most uncomfortable thing.
I'm
I
like,
just
who invented these underwear? Like, it's
like
disgusting.
just go without panties.
That
Like for
part.
real.
But eighth grade was a time when we were definitely like longed out.
Being fast, exactly. But like so like Lil Kim was one of
Oh
my
yes.
favorite.
Oh my gosh. I memorized, this is bad. I memorized her hardcore album came out when I was 9. And because I was such a music head, my mom and grandma would give me money to buy CDs. So I was
Mhm.
like, I want to buy her CD. And my mom was like, Little Kim. But they didn't know like what it was on. So they got it. And then they heard me listening to Big Mama thing when she's like, I used to be scared of the now to listen. And my grandmother was like, turn that shit off. But I memorized that at like 9 years old. And I was like, Kim is honestly the truest icon on
her
the planet.
her and Trina were everything to me.
Oh,
And I used to try to put on my Christmas list their albums, but my mom would buy them and always get the
I
censored
hated
one.
the
And
uncensored
I
one.
hated that. I was like, Mom, I can't hear nothing. Like
The
I can't
bleeps
hear
are so
nothing.
annoying.
But Trina and Lil Kim were like some of my favorites.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and I was like, okay, well, I may not
Diamond
be able to dress
princess
like
number.
them.
Yo, I wanted to dress like Little Kim. Like my style was like Tom girl, so I was like I would dress like TLC and Aaliyah, but I wanted like a
Oh
fantasy was to
yes,
look like Little Kim because I'm like her and Fox. I was like, there's some bad bitches, and I learned about designer from them being a little girl. So I was like, nah, I
yeah,
want to wear like Roberto Cavalli and all the shit that they're speaking about. But Kim was like hot.
right, right. Kim was very like we are going to really she paved that way to really like what is it, tap the line, like she kind of crossed the line
Yeah,
for
she
most
did.
people. She crossed the line. I don't even want
Remember
to
her
say
boob was
tapped
out
it, she crossed
at the
it.
MTV Awards. Her whole boob, like
Girl, I've been trying to make
historical
that
moment.
outfit for Halloween like every year at this point.
Yo, I'm about to say that I think Little Kim they said is like the most people dress up as
Influential.
her the most. Yeah, most influential for Halloween. And I'm like, because Little Kim was that
She
girl.
is like she's one of the first who were really out there. If I can think about it correctly, she's one of the first, especially Black women that wore colored hair, that
Yes.
like was like sexy, like
Hmm.
overtly sexy, and didn't let anybody like knock her off of her beat. She
Yes.
talked really like aggressively, like mid. She had this femininity to her. And you're
Yeah.
like, who is doing this? Nobody was doing that before.
Mm-mm.
Nobody we knew was doing that before. Nobody.
Yeah, Lil Kim
She
is like one of
literally
the first.
created she literally created a whole generation.
She did, and I feel like a lot of rapper girls owe her. And because if you listen to them, I'm like, that's Little Kim. Because before Little Kim, you had like the Moni Loves, you had Queen Latifah, so like the black female rappers and Now Salt and Pepper was doing it, but they were doing it in like a different way where it wasn't so
Yeah.
raunchy, but it would be like Tramp and Let's Talk About Sex. Little Kim is like the first to come on and be like, I used to be scared of the dick. Like what,
Right.
ma'am?
Right.
But then you
I
started to
learned
get
the
like,
whole
yeah,
I
like the
literally
Foxies and shit like that started coming after.
Yes, yes. And I learned the whole verse at another friend's house to
So
crush.
fresh. We were so fresh.
It was we was trying to get away with stuff. My mom was
That's
so
I'm not
strict.
gonna lie. That's my karaoke go-to song because that's a song I know by heart. People be like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "That those lips." So when I was little, I didn't understand.
Pull
So
up with the bag of lethals. That's
like that line, and she's naming porn stars. So I remember listening to the rap and not understanding it because my mom and great grandmother did a good job as parenting me and being like, "You can listen to it, but you don't know what any of this shit means." When I
yeah,
got older and I knew the line, she was like, Janet Jack Me, take it in the butt. Janet Jack Me is a porn star. At 10, I didn't know that. So when I
yeah,
got older, I was like, and she's like, Heather Hunter. So I was like, who's Heather
yeah. She
Hunter?
talked about Heather Hunter all the time.
So I was like, that was dope. Love Lil Kim.
And I definitely feel like because of some of the things now, she doesn't get the recognition that she
I know.
deserves.
She
Like
deserves all her flowers.
she's a sweetheart. Like I've met Lil
Yes.
Kim on multiple occasions, and every time she's the same sweet-hearted just person. And I'm just like,
She is
why does
truly
she
a
not get the
sweetheart.
recognition that she
I know.
deserves?
Kim deserves
Because
all the flowers. People, all the rappers out now, I'm like, y'all are her kids. Like, not to be
all of
disrespectful,
them,
but it's
Nikki, when they lined up the way that Nikki has done some of her, like majority of her photo shoots are exactly the same as Kim's.
yeah. And even Nikki had, and I think she did at the beginning where she had to be like, yeah, she was an influence. Cause I'm like, Little Kim still is out here influencing people today. 30
Yes,
years later, this woman is still changing the game. Cause it bothers me sometimes when like blogs will post her photos and they're like, oh, she's trying to look like this person. And I'm like, Little Kim is the originator. How would Little Kim try to look like somebody else when Kim was the first doing it? I
the
was like, I know
first
y'all new to
one.
this, but Kim is that girl. And I love that all the female rappers, her, Trina, and Nikki, like they're all different. But Kim was like out the gate in like 94, 95, 96, like, I'm the baddest bitch.
She was, and that's so crazy that she like made it. She really made a whole different generation, but she also had to take on that bravery to do it.
I
I mean, I know she
know.
was in love with Notorious and he was the one who kind of pushed her to do it. But that
Right.
takes a lot of bravery to do something that you know people are about to shun.
Yeah, there's clips of her now going online when she's on the talk shows like Ricky Lake and Sally Jesse Raphael. And there, I remember there's a talk show, and the women in the audience were like, "You're horrible. How can you make this type of music?" And she's answering
Yeah.
so eloquently, and she's like, I do what I do, but I don't want the young girls to, you know, I want them to listen to my music, but not just go on and do it. And I thought she handled it so great. And the people were attacking her. And this is when Little Kim was like young, young. So to
Yes.
see her on the show be like, I love what I do, but I encourage women to be themselves. I was like, that's right, Kim. You stick up for
Yes.
yourself.
Yes. And I think that she kept doing it, and it, big ups to her for women's
Big ups to Lil
international.
Kim. I would say another person for me who influenced me when I was younger was Khalees, because to see
Oh yeah,
someone like
you say that all the
I,
time.
I'm obsessed with Khalees. I
Yes.
to see a black girl, because I was like an alternative black girl, so I was the black girl who like was watching TRL, and like I was coloring my hair, I would wear an afro, and I was dressing differently. So when I seen a black girl look like me, like her and the Tiana Taylors, I was like,
Yeah.
yo, that's me on screen. So Khalees for me has been everything. And she now
Right.
has a farm, and I want a farm now. She makes me want to be a farmer.
That's cool to have like a person that I don't want to say I like, but you looked up to like when
Yeah.
you were young and to now. Cause
To
that lets you know
still
that they've evolved.
exactly. And if I ever meet her, I just want to tell her, like, yo, since I was a kid to now, and I still watch
Oh my
you.
gosh, is that why you love Nas so much?
Yeah. You know, someone asked me that. I was like, no, I loved him
I
before
never
they
put the
got
two and two
together.
together.
So before they got together, I loved him. And then when they got together, and because I liked her, I was like, okay, I'll accept this. You know, fans are crazy. I was like, whatever. And then they broke up, and I was like, all right, Nas, I don't know what you did to, but I do love you. Because, but no,
But
but yeah, but no, I love
uh,
Khalees. She's good as fuck.
who are some of your women role models now?
Now I would say I love, let me see, outside of the politic world, I love following, like, of course, Maxine Waters is one of my favorite people, and I got the chance to interview her. Because when I was younger, I didn't understand who Maxine was, and I wasn't really into politics, but I
Mm-hmm.
love her. I love how she doesn't back down from any of these men. I love how strong she is, and she is, I think Maxine is like, I don't think she's 90 yet, but she's up there.
Yeah,
So to
she's
see
up
her still
there.
doing her thing, and of course the Michelle Obamas, but also in the industry space, I love the people like the Elaine. I don't know how to say her last name, Elaine Whitworthy, or
Oh, Wentworth.
yeah,
Elaine
Wentworth. I love
Wentworth.
Elaine. I love, of course, Khalees. I still follow her. I'm trying to think who else do I like love. Like I listen to, like, I love her name is Joanna Simkin, and she's a makeup artist, but she does makeup for like Issa Rae and all the beautiful black women. I love
Yeah,
Joanna because, though, as a white woman, she's married to a black man. She is like, but she's from the Bay Area, so it makes sense. She's in such a dope space, and she's very educational. She is like, she's just such a dope human being. I love her
yeah,
a lot. Of
yeah.
course, Rihanna
Oh
and
yeah,
Rihanna and
yeah.
Beyonce, but to me, they're not even human. So like, I never put them on
In the
my
box,
list because I'm like, they're so different. Like, they're just so dope. So to me, but they're
right?
like up here. So I never put them on the list because I'm like, who doesn't look up to them? But yeah, like
Yeah,
women, like women like that. Like, I just like, I'm learning about new women, so I love following different like sites and like vibes of a black girl and finding out who new women are, and
right. Who are
looking up
making
to
a
them. But
difference and
my list is
stuff.
still growing as I'm even as I'm getting older. What about you?
For me, of course, it's Michelle Obama. Like, I
Queen.
love Michelle Obama. Michelle is such a queen. She's so fierce, but she's still herself.
Mm,
And I love that about her. Like, everything about her, I'm like,
she's so dope,
I'm
girl. I
like,
would
Barack, if
cry.
you ever mess this up, you
I
really
would
mess.
fucking fuck him up, allegedly, because he's ex
Listen,
president. But if he does something to Michelle, Barack, I
you're
love
gonna have a
you,
whole lot of enemies, whole lot of black women enemies.
baby. Because Michelle is our queen. Okay,
Our queen,
she's
honey.
our first lady.
Right. Of course, you know who's up there on the list, Beyonce and Rihanna.
Of course.
Because, Rihanna is a badass, like,
Mhm.
just period. And Beyonce is so empowering to, I feel like, women across the board, but really black women.
Really black, and she's stepping more into that too, which I love.
She is, and that's what's made me love her even more because I wasn't the biggest Beyonce fan when she first started out.
Me too.
But now, the more
I'm
that she's
obsessed now, girl.
girl,
I
I'm obsessed.
be like, Beyonce, what you say about Beyonce?
I be checking myself sometimes, like, yo, what is wrong with you? Like,
I
you really
literally
became a
almost check her
beehiver.
social media, like, where is she? Obsessed. That's why I don't like to say it out loud, because I be like, I don't want to judge you, but I fucking love Beyonce. Sorry to cut you
Right. I've become obsessed with her, and I'm like, yo, what is wrong with me? I yeah. And I will say, that I like Elaine Wentworth, but I don't know if she's like a role model of
off.
mine.
Right.
But I will say there is one girl, and we need to clip this and we need to put it out there because I really want her to become my mentor. I'm
Ooh.
like, yo, she's so dope. Um, Kiana Watson. Do you
Who's
know who
Kiana
that is?
Watson? No.
She's on Ladies Who List now on OWN, but she's the
Oh.
realtor who I saw her on Earn Your Leisure first because I'm like
Yeah.
obviously obsessed with Earn Your Leisure. Matter of fact, y'all, I ended up in VIP with them last
Ooh.
week.
I
No,
seen. I was like, I know that's right.
for Super Bowl week. Okay. They remembered who
Living the
I was.
life.
I was like, oh, they was like, you want to come in VIP? Yes, of
Yes, I do.
course.
Thank you. I'm here to earn my leisure.
Like, all right.
Yo.
I hate you for that one. I was.
I had to. I had to.
Yeah, that one was open. That was open. That was open.
Mhm.
But I first saw her on Earn Your Leisure, and I kind of saw how she rebranded, like, because I started following
Mm.
her, and she started like rebranding, and she's a dope ass woman, and I'm like, yo, I'm so inspired by her, and she's
I
in
gotta
real
check
estate,
her
and
out.
I want to buy a house, but I'm not. I mean, real estate is like, oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
but she's fucking amazing, like.
Oh, I gotta check her
I
out.
Yes, her name is Kiana Watson. I know I just gave a plug, but black women for black women.
Period.
But yeah, she is super dope. I really like her essence. She's married and like she'll go on live and stuff and like they'll be together just kind of talking and she's just like a light person. You can tell her
I like
energy is
that.
very like boss, very like still, but on a regular basis, she can laugh about things and
Yeah.
have that like very good energy.
Oh, I like
But she ain't playing around. She's building her black owned realty
what?
brokerage. She's a broker. And so she's getting like new agents and they're all so far I've seen like all black women and it's just
Nice.
oh
I
I'm
love
like
that.
right. I'm like sis.
Sis, be my mentor now.
Sis, be my mentor like right away.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I would love if she would come on the show too, because I would
That's a
be
dope
so down.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. But yeah, I like her too. She's really inspired me a lot. And I feel like that's all I can think of. Who else would I
Yeah. Oh, I love, I also love Tracey Ellis Ross. I love everything about Tracey.
Oh yeah, I like her fashion.
I love her fashion. And also because, like, I always say on the podcast, like, I don't want kids. So she just kind of gives me that essence of a woman who's like in her 40s, living her best life, no
Yeah.
kids. And in her article, she's like, she doesn't regret it. So I'm like,
Yeah, she does.
reading that. Yeah, like it made me feel good as like a black woman getting older and be like, we can still have this life and be happy without wanting to have kids. And there's people who do want that, and that's dope. But I love that
Right.
Tracey is just like, I'm out here living my best life. So she's someone who I look up to because I love everything about her.
I think a lot of them do though. Like, look at Regina Hall.
Oh my gosh, Regina Hall truly is the greatest person on the planet.
Like,
Okay.
she's amazing.
So not Lathan, like, but Regina, I've interviewed
Yes,
Regina and she is truly the funniest woman on the planet. And she's just so great. So seeing women like her, the Sanaz, the Tracey Ellis Ross,
yeah,
Gabrielle Union, who later in life came late to it, and like she's like, now I'll have a baby. But just seeing independent, strong black women be like, I do things on my time, my turf, and this is how
yeah,
we. So shout out
yeah.
to all those great women. Super
Shout out
dope.
to all those great women. I want to see all the black women win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a black woman, and I want to see all the
I'm
black
rooting for
women
everybody
win.
black.
Yeah, I'm rooting for everybody black, basically. Boop, boop. I definitely feel like, I definitely do feel like my grandma, she inspires me still a lot. I feel like, and just having that person there to show like love or like how to kind of maneuver life a little bit.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't around long for me, like until I was 17. She passed away when I was 17. So, that was like, she's a big pillar in my life. I do believe that she's one of my guardian angels too. I don't think she's like a main one, but I definitely believe she's there.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and I feel like I've done this before too. My grandma.
Oh, hi Nana, baby. You know how I feel about nanas. I was raised by one, so I am like, grandmothers are just perfect to me, and the world needs more grandmothers. And
they really do. Like,
shout out and you could tell the kids who were raised by grandmothers. Like, I was raised by my great grandmother, and she is like, she passed away, but she's my best friend and inspiration, and she definitely is one of my angels. But I feel like the kids need more nanas.
They do. I do feel like a grandma just does something in your life.
It's just so
Like
different
there's
having
just
a Nana.
something like those are women who really need to
Baby, they
like.
seen it all. And let me tell you, the way I am today is because of my Nana. My great grandmother raised me and she taught me about dating men at like 9 and 10. My best friend today, my best friend and I have been friends since fourth grade. And we'll
Mm,
crack jokes. And she'll be like, remember your grandmother used to teach us about like men weren't shit. And we be 9, like, we don't know what you talking about, Nana, but these women have seen it all, been through it all, experienced it all. So I really do think that like everyone needs like a grandma or a great grandma or like an older
right.
woman in their life.
Yeah. An older like yeah, essence, an older what is it called?
Mhm.
Role model. I can think of
Yes,
the phrase. An older role model. And I think because it balances. Like
it
if I
does.
would have never had my grandma and just had my mom, I would have probably been a little bit different.
Yeah.
But because I had that balance in my life, it's like you're also an old soul.
Girl, my
You're
friends call me Nana. You
yeah,
talk like an old person. My friends be like, "You're so old." I'm like, "Yeah, I was raised by an old ass lady." So
I
like,
know you can
you
tell when
have
you're
old
raised by your grandma
qualities
too.
about you.
Because the people in school, when I got in high school, everybody was like, "You're such a mom," and I'm like,
Yeah. My friends would be like, "Okay, Nana," and I'm like, "Oh, that's." So like, I'm wild, but I have old lady quality. Like I watch, as you guys know, like I watch a lot of old movies, and people are like, "That is so weird." I said, "No, I was raised by an old lady." So like, I
"Yeah,
would talk and act like one, and I love watching old Hollywood movies because I was raised by a little old lady.
yeah." I mean, think why we watch like Golden Girls and stuff.
Oh my gosh, obsessed! And to this day, one of the funniest shows.
And check this. Did you see that? And I think about this because my grandma used to like watch her. I feel like she used to call her Miss Cleo. You know, Miss Cleo's her
Yo, they're
documentary.
coming up. I used to prank call Miss Cleo when I was little.
Yes!
Miss Cleo and remember Jenny Craig had their numbers 1-800-97 Jenny. I would prank me and my friends would
Yes!
prank call. And my mom's like, yo, she would get the bill and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Me and my friends would
Oh
call people,
my
we would call people
God.
collecting prank. I was such a crazy child, but shout out to the grandmas.
So shout out to grandmas. They definitely are big ups. And
Yeah.
women in history, I feel like it's never changed. I feel like we
No.
have been the foundation. And fight me on this one, people. We have been the foundation of this fucking country. Period.
Yeah. Period. Women.
Period.
Women.
Period.
We listen. I am pro women, but the more history is my favorite subject. So the more I learn about women, I watch a lot of documentaries, and I'm tapping back into watching women from like the 1800s, the 1700s,
Mm-hmm.
watching shit about black women from Africa and black women in London, and like no, you know what I'm saying, like women, and we didn't get the right to vote. Well, white women got the right to vote before black women. But seeing how like women in general were just like the fucking backbone of this country, and like just seeing women kick ass in the 60s and the 70s
Right.
and burning
Right.
bras and Roe v. Wade. Like, I'm just happy to be part of gang, and I'm just happy to be a woman. And, we have different types of women. We have cisgen women, we have trans women, we have black women, gay women. Like, it's just a beautiful gang to be affiliated with. And I'm just happy I'm part of gang. Gang,
Right.
gang.
Like I be telling my best friend, I'm like, your gender is not doing well.
I
But
and that to men, I'd be like, honey, the gender, and they be like, I know, we're trash.
I
I'm
know.
like,
I'm like, your gender is not y'all
because
should
women, we're making history, we're making strides. We are just, and we've always been great, but women, we're getting fucking equal pay. We're speaking up if we're sexually assaulted. We're defending our sisters. Our trans sisters are now getting nominated for. I think MJ just got like an Emmy nomination. Like,
yes,
our disabled sisters, like we
yes.
women ain't fucking playing no more.
We're not.
So
We are
men,
not. I don't know what
man,
y'all doing, but whatever y'all doing, y'all need to step up your game.
this is Women's History Month, and women are kicking ass and taking
Kicking
names.
ass, taking names, and stepping on necks and ain't letting up. So
Period.
don't even try it.
I
I
love
love
women.
I love how women are starting to and I think this is a great question. Like, how are women basically, how should I put it? I'll say this first. I love how women are stepping up and starting to claim their self-love for themselves. Like, I have to choose me
Yes.
first. Because even in history, we've always chosen everybody else. We've always putting out, we've always done stuff for everybody else. We've always made sure that everybody else was good. We always have society looking at us like, oh, you need to marry him because he's going to make you happy, or thinking that something outside of us is always going to make us happier.
Facts.
And now that I see it so much now, and I think it's such a beautiful thing how we're self-loving ourselves, like
Yes.
flaws and all.
Girl, I agree with you 100% because I'm starting to see a wave of women talk about how confident they are, how they love their bodies, how we put in ourselves first. I'm seeing a thing now in women, especially Black women, we're like, do not call us strong. We want to be soft. We want to be feminine. We are tired of that fucking strong Black woman trope. Like, and I
Yes,
love that. I fucking love seeing that. Like, just seeing women in general just be like, I'm putting me first. Like, women
yes,
who are in relationships who are leaving because they're not happy. Women who used to put their kids before them kind of be like, I love my kids, but I need to be okay for them
yes,
first.
yes,
Women at jobs who are like, fuck this job. My mental health
yes,
is important and they quitting. Like you said, like, I love just seeing women just step into that confidence. And we're seeing it a lot more now. And I hope that, and we're seeing, you know what, I'm also seeing women stand up, like we're standing up for each other and like holding each other's
yes.
arms and being like, bro, I got you. You want to go into that office? I got your back, sis.
I
Like
got your
I
back.
love that. So I think we ain't letting up and men know it. So I love hearing men be like, yeah, the women, they got one up on us. Yeah, yeah, we do.
Right. Have you been watching Love is Blind?
Season 2, no. And the reason is it's on my list, but the way people are talking about it, it made me not rush to watch it. Have you watched it?
It's not like season one. It's not as good
Yeah,
as
okay.
season one. And but I feel like we knew that.
Yeah.
But one of the girls on there, she didn't get married, and I really admired it because she didn't get married because she was just like, I had to choose me, and because he didn't
Mm,
want to give me what I know I deserve, is his loss. And she
period.
didn't skip a beat, and I was like, yes, sis,
I fucking love
yes,
that. I love hearing women talk their shit like that.
man, I do
Like
too.
that's dope. That's why I think, like, of course, women, we've always been doing it, but I do think people are starting to acknowledge that we are just bomb human beings. Because I love hearing men they get scared. They be like, yeah, because you know the women, y'all, yeah, we do. Y'all should be scared. Yup. We fucking powerful
Yes.
in this bitch.
And I'm glad that, like, I feel like this is a subject to be talked about, is how men, and we've discussed this before,
Yeah.
but how men are starting to say, oh, women are so masculine. And it's like,
Like, bruh.
but we're not. You're not understanding that you're not creating safe spaces for us to move in our femininity. So when we have to check you and move in our masculinity, it's because we need to get shit done and move past whatever
Exactly.
you're trying to hold on to.
Period. And we do it ourselves. And we don't have time to wait. Like, either you jump on the train with us and figure it the fuck out, but we have to do it. Sorry.
Like,
Not sorry.
exactly. Once again, like, what is it? Taking names, stepping
Take
on names, and we ain't letting up.
period. Kicking ass and taking names. And that's just what women, we sometimes have to step in that masculine bag because we gotta get the fuck done. We got shit to do.
What are you looking forward to, like, when it comes to women making history and kind of like
Mm,
how our gender is moving, how
yeah.
our
I'm looking forward to more women and, like, we got our first woman vice president, which is crazy to
yeah,
me, but in a good way. I'm looking forward to seeing more people be open to that because people still do the weird shit like we don't need a woman president. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm excited to see that more women in charge. I'm because I know it's
oh
coming. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like Biden just elected the first black woman to sit, like the first black
yes,
woman to sit in the Supreme. That's wild to me. So I'm excited to see that and more women just being these bosses like we already are, owning these companies, having people work for them, having their own shows, their own production companies, own factories. I'm excited to see. And also, you know, I know the new generations coming up. I'm excited to see because I love seeing these young girls just talk their shit. And I'm like, damn, this is fly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these little kids don't be playing now. So I'm
They
excited to
know.
see more women speak the fuck up and be like, I'm not taking this
Yeah.
shit. I'm not dealing with it, but I'm excited to see more women in those spaces because we
Right.
deserve it and we've been fighting for it. And to see places like Texas try to hold women down, like the abortion law and now the trans law, and it's just Texas. I'm like, so I'm excited to see women come in like the Stacey Abrams and go on to Texas and kick their ass like she did in
Yes.
Atlanta. That's what
Yes.
I'm excited to see.
I'm with you on that. I have to ditto. I am very excited about seeing women in charge more and at the top more executives in these companies, like being able to have even with, I was just telling somebody about this. I'm like, you know, there's no Black owned media outlets that were in the White House before the Griot, a
Okay.
correspondent. And then they
That's
gave it to,
wild.
what's her face? Is it April? The Black
Yeah.
lady. And
Which is
so now,
wild.
right?
Like first Black, like when I hear like first Black, like when Beyonce said she was the first Black fucking woman headliner at
Headline
Coachella.
Coachella.
Child, please. That stuff like that is like, yeah.
Right. And to have the first Black media owned outlet, because there's not a lot of Black media owned outlets.
Nope.
And to have a woman be the seat in that, a Black woman to be the seat in that, I just, you know, I really love. That's another thing too that makes me so excited about women's, because I see the progress and I love the progress of what we're doing and how we're standing up and how we're like making ourselves be seen and known and pushing into these doors that are like, hello, I'm fucking here. You're not stopping it, no matter what you think.
Period. And I'm not going.
Right. And I definitely look forward to that. I ditto everything you said about like seeing women, especially Black women, start being the head of things. Those seats.
Those seats,
Like
bro.
Netflix is definitely making some strides in that.
Let me tell you something. Strong Black lead at Netflix is just doing the damn thing. Shout out to Strong Black lead fam, because like that shit is so special to have that a part of Netflix, but it's just all about Black folks and supporting us. And that's how I was like, kudos to fucking Netflix for that part, because that's amazing.
The CEO of, I think it's LAX airport. Don't get me wrong. I think it's the full LAX airport. The CEO is a Black woman.
That's beautiful. Like what? And then other countries got Black queens, like Africa, like certain countries in Africa. Almost busted my ass. I was like, wait, to catch myself, almost fell on the floor. But to see that, so I can't wait for like that to come over here to like America. You know what I'm saying? Like England,
right?
Queen Elizabeth, who's been queen since she was like 25, I think, and she's 95 now. So like I can't wait to see that transcend to us in America, and just seeing women kick ass to me is just fucking dope.
Right. And even for somebody like Meghan Markle to go in and kind of defy that whole system.
Love her.
And I'm just like, we are literally kicking ass, taking names, stepping on necks, and we ain't getting that. Like,
we ain't playing.
And I love every bit of it.
I told you, I love being part of gang. I love being a woman, and I love being a Black woman. It's nothing like it.
Both. I love being a Black woman.
Love it.
Like, I know I had to tell God, listen, when you send me back down, make sure I'm a Black woman.
No, but literally, I got a past life reading, and my past life reading said that I was mostly men, and that's why I have masculine energy. And
yeah,
she's like,
I was too.
And I feel like my souls came together, was like, God, can you please just make me a Black little girl? And I think, and that's why my energy is the way it is, because I've been men in my past life.
Right.
I think I was like, we'll make her a little Black girl this time.
That reminds me of that episode on Living Single where Maxine goes to that like shaman, and he's every past life that comes out as a man except for that.
Maxine was one of my favorites. Like I was Khadijah, but I'm definitely a Maxine. Because I was like, yeah, that's me. We were all men, and then a strong woman comes out.
I about that episode every time I think about myself in past lives. I was like, I think I was a man in every past life, but this time I was like, God, do not send me back unless you make me a
Like,
black
please
woman.
make me a woman this time. And if she could be black, that'd be great.
If she could be black, that would put the cherry on top.
I'd be a woman, but God, just make her black. Make her black.
Make her black. Make her black. I love it. I feel like, it's so dope. I think this is a great month to celebrate women, learn the history of women, especially Black women. This is Black Queens Uncut. So we're going to talk from our experiences. We're going to learn the history of our experiences because it affects us no matter what. But I think that this is a great episode to start out the month. Happy Women's History Month. Celebrating all women. Everything we go through. By the way, I don't know who needs to hear this, but somebody needs to start making tampons and pads free.
Hello. That's a whole fucking other thing that pisses me off. I'm like, women, we didn't ask to suffer like this. Why we gotta pay for it? But a whole other thing.
I mean, I'm grateful that I don't get cramps and I never have. So that's a blessing. But
girl, you are blessed and highly favored.
I was highly favored, honey.
Baby, because these cramps, I'd be like, why am I punished for this? For not giving my body a baby. We're not getting a baby this month.
For not giving my body a baby this month. Let me tell you, I literally think I had a list for God before I got here. Like, I'm serious. And I was like, God just knows I don't like pain. So he was just like, we're going to save her drama.
I'm like, God, I do not need the strong battles anymore. I'm good. But I agree. Tampons and pads should be fucking free. Sorry.
So you should be you every month. Because, I mean, I don't get cramps, but I do get a little crazy. Like, emotionally.
Yeah, that's still a lot. You still got PMS. Like, your hormones are still, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I'm a psycho.
Who experience their period should be able to get that shit for free.
Right.
Just
so
saying.
Can we at least, like they started Black History Month the first week of February, I feel like during Women's History Month, we should get all sanitary napkins for free.
I agree. We need to fucking send it up to the house Senate or something. Make that a thing.
We do. We need to really start doing that. They're way too expensive. Why am I paying for something that I have to have every month?
Ugh. It's gross.
Men don't have to do that. They don't have to pay for nothing they have every month.
Shit. Fuck them. No, I'm kidding. Love them. I'm just thinking about my period. Like, damn, I do gotta buy tampons this week. They're so expensive.
They are.
Damn.
But anyway, this concludes this episode. Happy Women's History Month. Happy Women's Day. Happy Women's International Day, which is on the 8th. That'll be next Tuesday. And so, yes, we love our women. Let us know who's y'all's role models. We would love to add some role models to our catalog.
Yes.
Or even some guests on Black Queens Uncut. That would be amazing. So this wraps up our episode. Kiki, let them know where they can find you.
You guys can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom. And again, I'm just happy to be part of Gang Women. We are just doing it. And I just hope that we continue to support and love each other and all women. Black women, white women, Hispanic women, Asian women, trans women, fat women, disabled women, every type of woman on the planet. We just need to finish coming together. And because once we come together, we know we're strong. And I think we're starting to realize that. So let's continue that fight.
Let's continue the fight. Seriously. Yes. And I'm Monique Loveless. You can find me everywhere at Hey Mo Love. Also, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Queens Uncut. And go ahead and turn on the notifications so that you can get an alert every Wednesday when we drop our new episodes. We're in season 4. If you haven't caught up, go catch up for seasons 1, 2, and 3. Also, you can look this video or any of our videos up at our YouTube channel at Black Queens Uncut. We also have our website, which is blackqueensuncut.com. So you can find all the information, pictures, and videos and all stuff is there as well. We love you, Queen and family. Happy Women's History Month. Shout out to all of our beautiful women out in the world. Like, y'all got this. We all got this. We need to lift each other's crowns and continue to lift them. I love everything that's going on, and I admire all of my women. Thank you so much.
Love y'all.
Love Queendom family. We love you guys.